said you were too soft, too gentle, too kind for this cruel world. They looked at your heart and saw something breakable, something that needed protection, something that wouldn't survive the storm. But that was before you learned that softness isn't weakness, before you discovered that gentle hands can build empires, before you realized that kindness isn't fragility. That was before you understood what you really are. They saw your tears and called them weakness. They saw your compassion and called it naivety. They saw your open heart and called it a target. But they didn't understand. They didn't see what was growing beneath the surface. You remember those days, don't you? When their words cut deep, when their judgments felt like truth, when you believed them, when you thought your softness was a curse, a flaw, a failure. But that was before the fire, before the storm, before you learned what softness really means. They never told you that water is soft, but it shapes mountains. They never told you that clouds are soft, but they carry thunder. They never told you that earth is soft, but it swallows cities whole. You see, they mistook your softness for weakness, your kindness for naivety, your gentleness for fragility. That was their first mistake, their last mistake, their only mistake that mattered. Because while they were busy underestimating you, you were learning, growing, becoming. Every time they called you too soft, you absorbed the blow and got stronger. Every time they said you wouldn't survive, you bent instead of breaking. Every time they tried to harden you, you became more powerful in your softness. That was before you understood. Softness isn't the absence of strength. It's strength in its most patient form. It's power in its most dangerous disguise. It's resilience in its purest state. They wanted you to be hard like stone, but stone cracks under pressure. They wanted you to be cold like steel, but steel breaks in the cold. They wanted you to be rigid like iron, but iron rusts in the storm. So you stayed soft, like water, like wind, like earth. And in your softness, you found something they never expected. Power. You learned that soft things know how to bend, how to flow, how to adapt, how to survive. While hard things shatter, soft things endure. That was before you realized your softness wasn't your weakness. It was your weapon. Your gentleness wasn't your vulnerability. It was your armor. Your kindness wasn't your flaw. It was your strength. Now look at you. Still soft. Still gentle. Still kind. But now they see what that really means. Your soft heart, it beats with the strength of 1,000 storms. Your gentle hands, they can both heal and destroy. Your kind soul, it knows exactly when to show mercy and when to withhold it. That was before they understood. Softness doesn't mean simplicity. Gentleness doesn't mean helplessness. Kindness doesn't mean weakness. You are still soft. Like the earth before an earthquake. Like the air before a hurricane. Like the sea before a tsunami. They said you were too soft. But that was before you showed them. Soft things are not weak things. Soft things are not fragile things. Soft things are not powerless things. That was before they learned. The softest cotton can stop a bullet. The softest snow can bury a city. The softest voice can command an army. The softest touch can leave the deepest mark. You didn't need to become hard. You didn't need to become cold. You didn't need to become cruel. You just needed to understand. Your softness is your power. Your gentleness is your strength. Your kindness is your revolution. That was before. Before you owned your nature. Before you claimed your power. Before you embraced your truth. Now they see. Now they understand. Now they know. What they mistook for weakness was really strength gathering. What they saw as vulnerability was really power building. What they labeled as fragility was really force multiplying. You are still soft, but now they know what that means. Now they see what that costs. Now they understand what that's worth. Because soft things, they don't break. They don't crack. They don't shatter. Soft things absorb, adapt, transform, and when necessary, they overwhelm. That was before. Before you showed them what softness really means. Before you taught them what gentleness can do. Before you proved what kindness can become. Now they know. You are not too soft. You are soft enough to survive anything. You are soft enough to overcome everything. You are soft enough to become anything. And that's not your weakness. That's your power. That's your strength. That's your truth. They said you were too soft. But that was before. Before you showed them what soft things can do. What soft things can be. What soft things can become. And you are just getting started. They're watching now. Watching how your softness moves mountains. Watching how your gentleness reshapes worlds. Watching how your kindness carries consequences. You've become something they never expected. A force that doesn't need hardness to be felt. A power that doesn't need cruelty to be feared. A strength that doesn't need armor to be unbreakable. Let them watch. Let them learn. Let them see what happens when soft things rise. Because you've learned the secret. True power doesn't announce itself with hardness. True strength doesn't prove itself with force. True resilience doesn't show itself with rigidity. You are soft like moss that cracks concrete. Soft like roots that split foundations. Soft like time that devours empires. Soft like love that moves worlds. That was before. Now this is your time. Your truth. Your testament. Show them what soft things can do. When they're done being underestimated. When they're ready to rise. When they're prepared to reign. Because you are not just soft anymore. You are unstoppable. And they never saw it coming. Because they were too busy looking for hardness. To see the power in your softness. That was their last mistake. And your first victory.